So I'm back again. Just welcome back everybody. It's Catherine from Geraldstown House, and we're doing a little bit of cooking at home during the COVID-19 lockdown. And thanks so much for your feedback so far. Okay, so today I'm going to make a really simple Spanish omelette. This is great when you have like extra potatoes that you have to use up and stuff like that, and it's really simple. So what you first do is get potato and slice them really skinny. Okay, this is my version of Spanish omelette. And you also need some finely chopped onion. You get a bowl, remembering to wash your hands and clean your surfaces really well, especially during this time. And I would put all of the potato into a bowl and coat it with some oil. So just add a bit of oil, just enough to cover the potato. You don't have to have an awful lot. You judge what you need. And this just coats it, because we're going to fry these up with the onion. We're going to cook the potato and onion together first, and then we add the eggs. Okay, so my kids love this. You can add anything you want. You can add ham, peppers, bit of cheese, whatever you like into these after you cook the potatoes and the onion up. Okay, so I'm going to coat those. I'm going to cook my potatoes first, then I'm going to fry up my onions. Okay. Okay, so we're at our pan, and I always heat the pan first, and then we just add about a dessert spoonful of oil, just to heat up the pan with the oil. And then we place our potatoes. Try and have like one layer of potato. So we place our potatoes on when that's nice and hot. You can see the oil is starting to bubble. And I do these in batches, because if you throw all the potato on top, they may not cook very well. So I do like one layer of potato first, and then I probably will do, this was 3 potatoes. Again, you can use whatever, 3 big potatoes, half an onion, and we will do probably 3 batches of cooking the potato. Okay, so you cook the potato up at a kind of, medium heat, making sure that they don't get too brown or burnt or whatever. So just keeping an eye on them. Cook them on one side, flip them over after maybe 3 minutes, and then we come back and do the next. So we'll do that. Here it's starting to sizzle there, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so these are on the pan about 3 or 4 minutes, and they're kind of gently golden brown, but not completely cooked through. They just need to be a little bit soft in the middle. And they're very skinny, so they don't take too long. So I'm going to put those out onto some kitchen paper just to drain the oil off. You don't want these too oily, so they're kind of a little bit healthier for the family. And then I'm going to cook my next batch. There we are. And just check, there is oil on the potatoes, so they don't necessarily need any more. So throw a whole load more on the cooker there. I think I might get these done in 2 batches. So another load of potatoes on. The pan is kind of hot. We'll turn it down a bit. So about a medium heat. And yeah, we'll come back when those are done, and we'll go to the next step. So I've all of my batches done there, and the odd potato can be a little bit thick, so leave it on maybe a little bit longer. But you should be able to, the potatoes should be like golden brown, and you should be able to put the spatula between and see that they're kind of done. Okay, so all my potatoes now are just resting on a plate with some kitchen towel beside me. We'll let them drain off a little bit while we do the onion. Now you can also add garlic And at this point, if you need anything else cooked up, you can. This will need a little bit of salt, but you know, you decide what you want to do with your own salt. Sometimes if you add something quite salty, say like feta cheese, it's really important to watch how much salt you add. Okay, 1 second. So I have my onions and a very smoky pan. I'll turn that down a bit. And I have no oil left in the pan, but if you do, you don't have to add any. Tiny teaspoon of oil. My pan is very hot already. Okay. This is not a great one to do with the kids because, you know, of the pan or whatever. But if they can, you know, help you prepare it a little bit, like maybe beat the eggs or whatever, they could do that. So your onion won't need very long. And in the meantime, you beat some eggs. So I have 4 eggs beaten in here. And I beat the eggs well. You can add, if you feel that you don't have enough, 4 should be plenty. But if you feel like you don't have enough egg in it, you can add another egg. So again, this is a very flexible recipe. Okay, so while those onions are cooking up, what we do next, we let the onions cook, and then I add my drained potatoes to a clean bowl. Okay, so this is the bowl, I'm just reusing it. So I add my potatoes into this bowl. If you're a bit stubborn. Okay. Those onions are cooking away nicely there. So I add all of my potatoes in there. Where am I stuck? Oops. And add my onion. Into the bowl too. Okay. Give that a little bit of a mix together. Just a little, so that you have your onions and stuff mixed up, and then add your eggs on top. Eggs on top. Mix it together. So you have a very eggy mixture. Okay. And then add your salt if you need it. So a little pinch of salt, not much. You can always add salt when you've cooked it. So, you know, I tend to not add as much salt to cooking to most things. But for this, I always add a little bit. It needs a little bit of salt with the potatoes. You put your heat back on. And add a little bit of oil to your pan. About a dessert spoonful, maybe. Let the pan heat, and then you add your egg. Swirling my oil around here a little bit. And then add your egg mixture to the pan. Let that cook away for a few minutes. And let the egg set. Don't have it too high, have it a medium heat, because what you want to do is you want to let the potatoes cook a little bit more and the eggs set. And then we're going to turn it over. So what you'll need to turn it over is a large dinner plate. I'll show you how it's done. We'll explain it. I'll put a large dinner plate over the pan, really carefully because the pan can be hot, and flip it over, and then when you have the half cooked or one side cooked Spanish omelette on one side, then you slip the uncooked part back onto the pan to just cook the other side, just for a few minutes. Okay, so I'll show you when we get to that point, I'll show you what to do. Okay, so that was about 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I can see that around the edges my potato cake, or my, sorry, Spanish omelette is kind of setting. So to turn this over, you have to be really careful. You get a pan and place it really, really carefully over the top of the pan. Flip it over so that it comes out onto the plate, and then just gently slip it back onto the frying pan then. Some of the potato might come loose. Just tuck it in underneath. It'll all set together anyway. And then you just fry that for less time, maybe another 2 minutes. Remembering that if you want to add stuff to it, the best time to do that is when you have the bowl with the eggs and the potato and onions. That's when you'd add maybe some feta cheese or grated cheese, some chopped up peppers, maybe even some chorizo or ham or whatever you want to put into it. Yeah, so that's Spanish omelette. I'll give you just a few more minutes and you can flop that out on the plate, and it's really nice, very filling and very nutritious. Okay, thanks, bye.